Are you aware that your happiness and relationships can impact your health at the deepest level, even down to your DNA? As a former physics professor turned energy healer, I've discovered that the science behind human connections is just as fascinating as quantum mechanics. Research from Harvard and UCLA shows that it's not just about feeling good. There's a real measurable science behind how strong relationships and a sense of purpose can actually change your immune system and promote longevity. In this video, I'll explore how you can harness these powerful insights to improve your well-being, your energy, and potentially extend your life. Get ready to dive into the quantum field of human relationships. Welcome to Physics-Powered Healing, where we bridge the gap between science and spirituality, transforming skepticism into belief. Integrating quantum physics with energy healing is essential to achieving profound and long-lasting transformation. Join me, Dr. Anastasia Chopelas, a physicist turned energy healer, to explore the scientific underpinnings of energy healing and make the mystical measurable. Before we get started, let me share a personal story that illustrates the power of relationships and purpose. 3 decades ago, while I was working in academia, I found myself in an awkward situation. On paper, I was doing everything right for my health. I was eating a balanced diet, exercising regularly, and getting enough sleep. But my health was crashing, and I felt terrible. Despite my best efforts, I also felt disconnected and unfulfilled. My energy levels were low, and I was getting sick often compared to the vibrant health I had enjoyed before. It was as if my body was trying to tell me something that my mind couldn't quite grasp. The turning point came when I joined a self-help group with a number of women involved in alternative healing. I voluntarily became their guinea pig and learned a lot along the way. A homeopathic doctor also showed me how even difficult infections can be healed with medicine based on energy. During this time, my sensitivity and abilities to sense and move energy expanded to where I could see the energetic connections between people. This fascinated me. I found myself drawn into examining research behind these connections. The connections behind unusual results began to make sense, especially when connecting stress to the immune system. As I began to explore this new field and concepts, implemented them, something remarkable happened. My energy levels skyrocketed and my recurring illnesses disappeared. It was as if my body had found a new frequency to tune into. Little did I know at the time, this wasn't just a mental shift. It was affecting me at a genetic level. The research we're about to explore shows that meaningful connections and having a purpose in life can literally change your biology, promoting a stronger immune system and potentially a longer, happier life. This experience was the inspiration to transition from physics professor to energy healer. I realized that the principles of energy and interconnectedness that we study in physics also apply to human relationships and well-being. So let's dive into the fascinating science behind this phenomenon. Let's see how relationships impact your immune system. Studies from Harvard have shown that people with strong social connection and fulfilling relationships have lower levels of stress hormones like cortisol. This isn't just about feeling less stress. It directly impacts your immune system's ability to fight off diseases. On the flip side, troubled relationships can trigger chronic inflammation in the body. This is similar to what happens when you're constantly under stress, and it can increase your risk of various diseases. Constant arguing and being in an adversarial stance with the people close to you can literally make you sick with life-threatening diseases. UCLA researchers have taken this a step further. They found that the immune systems of people who feel lonely or disconnected often behave similarly to those experiencing prolonged stress. Their immune cells are on high alert, as if they're constantly fighting off a threat. This state of chronic activation can actually make you more susceptible to illness. Let me share a story that illustrates this point. I once worked with a client, let's call her Sarah, who came to me with a host of recurring health issues. She was dealing with frequent colds, persistent fatigue, and a benign tumor. As we talked, it became clear that Sarah was also dealing with significant family stress. Her relationships with her parents and partner were strained, and she felt isolated and unsupported. I ran through a series of energetic processes that protected her even in conflict. This involved a combination of energy healing and practical communication and interaction strategies. As Sarah began to reconnect with her family and build a support network, something remarkable happened. Her health issues started to fade, her immune system, which had been in a constant state of stress, began to relax and function more effectively, and her tumor shrank away. It's as if her body came alive as her relationships improved. This is a perfect example of how your connections with others can have a tangible impact on your physical health. But it's not just about reducing stress. Positive relationships can also boost the production of feel-good hormones like oxytocin, which has been shown to have anti-inflammatory effects. Think of it as your body's natural healing response to loving connections. So, fostering loving relationships doesn't just make you feel better emotionally, it makes your body stronger and more resilient at a cellular level. Let's move the focus now to the concept of purpose and how it affects your biology. Studies at UCLA show that the source of your happiness is more important than the happiness itself. What does that mean? In the studies at the Cousins Center at UCLA, they show that happiness derived just from accumulating things and self-gratification actually showed adverse gene effects, increasing inflammation and lowering antiviral responses. Does that surprise you? After all, you are happy, right? In contrast, happiness derived from having purpose and meaning in life promotes a favorable gene expression profile, boosting immunity and reducing inflammation. Indeed, having a sense of purpose is actually one of the strongest predictors of longevity. This is corroborated by other studies from Harvard. Why is this? The answer lies in a relatively new field called epigenetics. Epigenetics is a study of how your environment and mental state can influence which genes are turned on or off in your body. Your genes operate much like a computer chip with ones and zeros. Your thoughts, the way you treat yourself, what you eat, and all of that, and your experiences are flipping the switches. When you're connected to a sense of purpose, it changes how your genes express themselves. This affects everything from immune function, which diseases manifest, and the length of your telomeres. Telomeres are like the little hard pieces at the end of your shoelaces. They're called aglets, by the way, that keep them from unraveling. It does the same thing with your DNA. The longer the telomeres, the younger your body is biologically. Having a strong sense of purpose can protect and lengthen these telomeres, slowing down the aging process at a cellular level. The good news is that you can get a jump start on this process and not take years to make your DNA and body younger with the healing process I use to reprogram your DNA energetically. Let me share another story that illustrates this point. I worked with a woman named Maria, a former executive who had taken an early retirement because she felt adrift in her job, finding it just pointless. Maria was tired all the time, and little aches and pains showed up. Despite having achieved financial success, she was unhappy and unfulfilled. Her question was, is this all there is to life? As we worked together to heal her body, I asked her what she would rather be doing. As we talked and she tried new things, Maria discovered a passion for mentoring young people and entrepreneurs in her community. As she began to dedicate more time to this new purpose, something remarkable happened. Her energy levels improved dramatically, and she reported no more aches and pains. I watched as she continued to grow younger and more alive. You wouldn't even recognize her now. From a scientific perspective, what was happening was fascinating. Maria's newfound sense of purpose was likely triggering and reinforcing positive epigenetic changes. Her body was responding to a renewed enthusiasm and sense of meaning by optimizing its functions. It was as if her subconscious and subsequently her DNA got the message that she still had important work to do, and her cellular energy production ramped up to meet the challenge. This is a powerful example of how finding your purpose isn't just about mental satisfaction. It can have profound effects on your physical health and your longevity. Now let's look at how to strengthen relationships and your purpose for longevity. Now that you know a bit about the science behind how relationships and purpose affect your health, what can you do to harness these insights? First, focus on cultivating strong, supportive relationships. This doesn't mean you need to become a social butterfly overnight. And in fact, that's not me. I'm an introvert. Instead, focus on deepening the connections you already have that are already positive. Practice active listening, express gratitude regularly, and be willing to be vulnerable with those you trust. It's the quality of your relationships, not the quantity, that matters most. Try this gratitude exercise. Each day, take a moment to express genuine appreciation and gratitude to someone in your life. For example, I give my husband a big hug daily and tell him how much I am happy he is in my life and how much I appreciate him. I also thank him for little actions that he does and tell him how much I appreciate those. Such actions not only strengthens your bond with others, but also trains your brain to get in the habit of focusing on the positive. As for discovering or rediscovering your sense of purpose, start by reflecting on what truly matters to you. Here are some questions and actions that might bring about this realization. What activities make you lose track of time? What issues in the world stir your passion? Take a walk in nature by yourself and let the world drop away behind you. Anyone or anything that was bothering you, just let it go. And then let your mind wander. Where does it end up? You can also try the future self visualization. Imagine yourself 5 or 10 years from now, living a fulfilling life. What are you doing? Who are you helping? Journal about it after a brief meditation or walk outside. This can provide clues to what you find truly purposeful. Your purpose doesn't have to be world-shattering, it just needs to be meaningful to you. The more you feel connected to a bigger mission, the more you support your longevity at a cellular level, whether it's contributing to your community, mentoring others, or following a creative passion. Find something that ignites your spirit from within. Interestingly, these two aspects, relationships and purpose, often intertwine. As you pursue your purpose, you're likely to connect with like-minded individuals, forming new, meaningful relationships. And strong relationships can often lead you to discover new purposes or passions. By focusing on both these areas, you're not just improving your mood or giving yourself something to do, you're actively engaging practices that can alter your biology for the better, adding years to your life and life to your years. What's next in altering your DNA for the better? Start with small steps. Reach out to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while, or spend 15 minutes brainstorming activities that truly excite you. For more in-depth guidance, check out my mini program called Personal Protection Protocol at healersu.com/HPP. You'll find guides and tools to help you deepen your connections, clean them up, and protect you as a sensitive, empathic individual. If this message was valuable, please share it with someone you care about. Let's spread the importance of connection and purpose for thriving and longevity. In the next episode, I explore how to manifest using the quantum field and how to protect your own energy, as imposter syndrome often shows up, making it difficult to manifest. I can't wait to share it with you. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it. Thank you for tuning in to Physics Powered Healing. You'll find resources and show notes on our website at physicspoweredhealing.com. Until next time, I'm Dr. Anastasia Choplas, sending you golden healing light and success vibes on your journey to becoming a powerful, confident healer or intuitive coach. Remember, your gifts are so needed in this world.